Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Last winter, I bought a very old coat for $5, and I did not know it was about to change the way I see English, history, and even myself. I found something in a coat pocket that completely changed how I see the world, and today I'm going to tell you this incredible story. Today, I want to tell you a very special story. It is about a cold afternoon, a small secondhand shop, and a quiet secret hidden in a coat pocket. At first, it felt like a simple, funny moment, but step by step, it became something much deeper. And yes, this story also helped me with my English in a way I never expected. It all started on a slow Saturday afternoon. I was walking alone, just to relax my mind. The sky was gray, the air was cold, and the city felt calm, almost sleepy. You know those days when you don't plan anything big but something still finds you? That was one of those days. I decided to enter a small thrift store near my street. I had no goal, I just wanted to look around. The windows were dusty and the sign was old and faded. Something pulled me inside. I don't know why. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was fate. The store smelled like old books and wooden furniture. Everything was quiet except for the soft music playing from somewhere in the back. I started looking through the clothes section, not really searching for anything special. I touched old sweaters, jackets, and coats, each one with a silent story. Then I saw it. A long, dark brown coat hanging between two ugly sweaters. It looked heavy, strong, and very old. It looked ancient, but somehow elegant. I put it on. It fit me perfectly, like it was waiting for me. I looked at the price tag. The price tag said $5. $5! I couldn't believe it. The fabric was thick and warm, exactly what I needed for winter. I walked to the mirror and smiled. This coat felt like it had stories to tell. I paid the $5 and left the store, feeling like I'd found a small treasure. But I had no idea what was waiting for me. I paid, thanked the shop owner, and walked home. The coat felt heavy on my shoulders, but safe. As I walked, I thought about how many people may have worn this coat before me. Where did it go? What did it see? That evening, I was sitting on my couch, watching TV, and wearing my new coat. I put my hands in the pockets to warm them up. The right pocket was empty, but in the left pocket, my fingers touched something like a piece of paper. I pulled it out carefully. It was an envelope, a very old envelope. The edges were soft, like they had been touched many times. It was yellow and fragile, like it might break if I wasn't gentle. My heart started beating faster. The envelope had no stamp, just a name written in beautiful cursive handwriting. My dearest Elizabeth. I stared at those three words for a long time. Who was Elizabeth? Who wrote this? And why was this letter still in the coat after all these years? I opened the envelope slowly, my hands shaking a little. Inside was a letter, folded carefully. The handwriting was elegant, but difficult to read. Some words were faded. I had to hold it close to the lamp to see clearly. I could see the date at the top, 1917. I was frozen. Imagine this moment with me. The room is quiet. The light is soft. Outside, cars pass slowly. And in your hands, there is a letter written more than 100 years ago, a real voice from the past. This is where my English fear slowly walked in. I am learning English. I love it, but sometimes old words scare me. Long sentences, strange grammar, unknown expressions, they can make me feel small. But this time, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to understand. And then I started to read slowly, very slowly. My dearest Elizabeth, I am writing to you from a place far from home. The nights are cold here, and the days are filled with sounds I wish I could forget. But when I close my eyes, I see your face. I hear your laugh. I remember the last time we danced together in your mother's garden under the stars. That memory keeps me alive." The letter was from a young soldier. He was writing to the woman he loved. He talked about cold nights, about missing home, about hope. Some sentences were simple, some were difficult. I stopped many times. I checked words, I guessed meanings, I whispered the sentences out loud. I stopped reading. My chest felt tight. This was a love letter, a real love letter from someone who was suffering, someone who was far from the person they loved. I kept reading. "I don't know when I will see you again, Elizabeth. I don't know if I will ever hold you in my arms. But I promise you this, I will carry your love with me every single day. It is my light in this darkness. Please wait for me. Please don't forget me. Forever yours, William, November 17th, 1917. 1917, 107 years ago. I sat there in complete silence, holding this letter in my hands. William wrote this during World War I. He was a soldier. He was scared. He was in love. And he wanted Elizabeth to wait for him. But did he ever come home? Did Elizabeth wait? Did they ever see each other again? I couldn't stop thinking about these questions. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept imagining William in a cold trench somewhere in Europe, writing this letter by candlelight. I imagined Elizabeth receiving and reading it with tears in her eyes, holding it close to her heart. And then I thought about the coat. How did this letter end up in the pocket? Did it belong to William or to Elizabeth? The next morning, I decided to find answers. I took photos of the letter and posted them online, asking if anyone knew about William or Elizabeth. I also went back to the thrift store. The old man behind the counter looked at the letter carefully. He said, "This coat came from an estate sale, an old house on Maple Street. The family was selling everything after their grandmother passed away. Her name was Elizabeth Morrison." My hands started shaking again. This was her coat. She kept the letter in the pocket for more than 100 years. She carried William's words with her probably every day. I found out more through online research and local historical records. William Thompson returned from the war in 1919. He married Elizabeth that same year. They lived together in the house on Maple Street for over 60 years. They had 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and a beautiful life together. William passed away in 1982. Elizabeth kept his letter until her own death in 2024, just months before I found the coat. Imagine that. She kept his promise. He came home. They had their forever. When I learned this, I cried for their love, for their story, for the miracle of finding this letter. And I realized something important. This letter taught me that words have power, real, lasting power. William's words kept Elizabeth's hope alive during the darkest time of her life, and 100 years later, those same words reminded me to believe in love, in patience, in the beauty of promises kept. Learning English is a lot like the story, actually. Every word you learn, every sentence you practice, every mistake you make, it all matters. You're not just learning a language, you're learning to connect with people, to share stories, to carry messages across time and space. Just like William's letter traveled through a century to reach me, your English can travel across the world to reach others. So my advice to you, don't give up. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Every word you know is a key that opens new doors. Every conversation you have is a connection that changes you. And remember, sometimes the most beautiful discoveries happen when you least expect them, like finding a 100-year-old love letter in a $5 coat. If you've ever found something unexpected that changed your life, please share your story in the comments below. I'd love to read it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends who are learning English. In my next video, I'll share another incredible secret from my life that English gave me, something that taught me the importance of never being afraid to speak, even when you make mistakes. Thank you so much for being with me watching this video. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. That's all for today, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.